Well, there's clearly much more uncertainty in the market given the interest rate hikes that we have already seen and expect to come, uncertainty about inflation, uncertainty about geopolitical situations, be it in Russia, be it in other parts of the world, and also uncertainty about COVID and how it will develop over the next few months. So that's certainly a slightly different environment than we saw a year ago. And at the same time, Credit Suisse, when we announced the strategy on the 4th of November, we always said 22 will be a transition year because we are exiting prime, we are doing several restructurings, we have a new structure, we have centralized our technology, and these will all be steps that we see the benefit coming through over time, but not in the short term. So 22 is a transition year for the firm, but overall, I think it's a situation where we have a much more stable bank, we have a much higher CET1 ratio, much higher Tier 1 ratio, and are now fully focused on implementing the strategy.
Can I ask you to speak directly to your shareholders? Because obviously, you know, those who've stayed with you have just seen scandal after scandal. And it doesn't seem to matter, you know, how committed they are to the organisation. This issue of changing the culture and stepping away from misdeeds just doesn't seem to have shifted. If you could talk directly to the shareholders that have held the faith or those who may be looking to buy the bank shares at this stage, what would you tell them? How do you convince them that actually things are going to be different going forward?
Well, the one thing they want to hear from us and that I have discussed with them is that we stick to the strategy. That we stick to the strategy in terms of strengthening the bank, simplifying the organization and invest for growth. And they take a lot of comfort that nothing changes, even there was change in the chairmanship, as you said. We are 100% committed to actually implementing this strategy. We want to operate the bank as a stronger bank. We have a stronger capital base. We have 14.4% CET1 ratio and 6.2% Tier 1 leverage ratio, one of the strongest in the whole peer group. So we are very well positioned now in terms of balance sheet, but we now have to implement the strategy, and that's really what they want to hear. They, as you said, they don't want to have any scandals, and they want us to calmly operate and implement the strategy.
But they also want transparency. I mean, is it not a mistake not to publish in full the results of the Greensill investigation to show exactly what the bank did wrong and how it was led down that path?
Well, the Greensill report, as you rightly say, has been completed. It has been shared, the findings, with the board. The report has been shared also with FINMA. The board has taken all the relevant disciplinary actions that were needed, but at the same time, as you know, there are ongoing recovery efforts by the firm vis-à-vis the obligors underlying the Greensill matter, and this is a report that we have produced, or the board has reproduced, to take all the right decisions, and that's where it will end. We will not issue this report. It's a totally different situation as Archegos. Archegos is behind us. We still have a long way to go to get the money back for our investors. We are fully focused on getting the money back for our investors, and there is absolutely no reason why we should publish this report.
Can I ask you then about the ongoing litigation? We have perhaps FX investigations in the States, and we have the Bulgarian money trafficking story. I'm sure you're going to give me the standard answer on these are legal issues, and I'm not going to talk about them. But I will ask you, I mean, is there any likelihood that you're going to have to provision higher for costs related to this, or do you think you've done what you need to do?
We feel very positive about how we have provisioned for legal cases, and this is all I can say. And as you said, I cannot comment on individual cases, but as we always do, we go through all our legal cases with not only our internal legal colleagues, but with auditors, and we feel very comfortable about where we landed in terms of our legal provisions.